when we have those who are part of our lovely double eight today 5D collective, we have people who know how to wield their potential. They get to be their self, they get to apply mindfulness, mindset skills, techniques, basically to be a depth of you and a depth of I. And so your masculine and feminine energy together in the absence of talking about sadness, anger, or disgust, surprise, happiness, or fear as if they are torturous. Okay, so to get to becoming your restorative embodiment self, that's where you use mindfulness, mindset, and that's what we get to apply, but also more than just that, your spirituality journey. And so once again, as a divine feminine, what I can tell you about the 5D collective is that every time we have ascension energies, we expand because we take that which arises and we make flowers with it, not golden scars. And therefore, our masculine, again, is within us. It's the mind. The divine masculine is what I call the mind, and the divine feminine, the body. And so you're an inner child adult, makes you a functional adult. So you use your masculine, the left mode, chit-chatter, feminine, the right mode, and you use them with the inner growth mindset that we apply. So you deal with uncertainty, unexpected, and unwanted from within you while going with the flow. And you stay open-hearted. So you know how to be a light load. And that's because you are an embodied brain like I am. Okay, so when someone tells you how much they love you, they walk a walk and talk a talk. And that's because that's a person who is a double eight. Okay, so again, infinity and beyond. And when you instead meet someone who doesn't know how to walk the walk and talk the talk, that's where you're not building depth because they're not communicating. They're not sharing with you their heart, and a mystic will be aware of this in the absence of making assumptions, meaning that a person who is like they simply know that a person has a right to share with you who they are or not. Straightforward. And that's exactly why for our oversoul, we are choice points. And no oversoul of a divine feminine will be diminished. It will be expanded. And it's expanded because we don't have this thing called arrogance. So the ego with arrogance is really a 1-year-old that has no owner and a 3-year-old that has a shame button. And they seem to think that by giving their self to you, they've done a favor to you. Okay? And so that's where if you give yourself, whether it's, again, emotionally, physically, or mentally, man, woman, they, I'm talking to conscious lovers here, on this lovely Lionsgate portal, which has always brought about beautiful, beautiful experiences. A man, woman, or they who knows how to be a pure piece of consciousness will not take and think because I've shared with you physically, emotionally, and mentally every single inch of me that I have done something that I should, 1, be ashamed of, 2, that I should listen to words that you speak to me. If you're, let's say, Eric, who says, I don't like your tail. You're a piece of shit. I don't want you. It's called, oh, wow, they just told me they don't like me. This is a mature woman sharing with you all how a person's words, your heart, this is what will tell you if you know what I'm talking about. Because I remember the difference when I was a teenager and this one boy I liked, who made it clear he was not ever going to date me. And in this one instance, he did it in a very, what is it called? A cheap shot, I think you can say. So I remember, though, because I was all excited and happy. I got in with my nice little shoes. And he immediately said, don't think that with those shoes we can be a couple because we still look off because I'm tall. And the minute he said that in my head, I'm like, that's not love. But I'm having fun. Who cares? That's what love is for a person who is I'm me and you're you. This is a conscious lover. So it's, I don't need a therapist. I can do more of that self-help and spiritual because spirituality, 1, is you living a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self. But 2, you are an emotional and mental being who has a body. And it does serve the life of you, but you're still processing moments and you get to share them. Okay, so we build communities with people who are like-minded and heart-minded. And so the 5D collective at IHP, it's mature, emotionally speaking, in-depth people. We have enough of the Cuscos out there. We're not building Cusco land here at IHP. We're building Pacha land. So what happens here is where we don't come in and out of each other's lives. Furthermore, you think and feel your way, I think and feel my way. That's pretty straightforward. And no chips on the shoulder. So polyamory, monoamory, all those words, we don't do the, oh my God, you just offended me. The community here are people who want to actively just talk, not have to consistently think of what words we're fucking using every time. So we'll see how we get to keep building it, but that's the part. No of the ones that are on Elsa's mantles seemingly to have some supervillain that they're going around. You can't build any type of relationship that is smart with people like that, because the minute you start talking politics, religion, genders, I mean, like, example, that whole bear thing with the man, really, I'm just over it. I instinctively said man, not bear. Then I said, well, if you tell me it's a serial murder, of course I'm going to go with the bear because they're a serial active murder, but you need to give me more specifics. You just say man, I'm going to go with a man, not a bear, because I'm a human. I want the man. I want to chit chat. I want to have a good time. You know, a bear, I don't know if the bear is going to just put a hand on my face and eat me alive. So I'm just saying, and I don't work with animals. So, I mean, I can, the domestic animals, but bring me an animal from the wild, I'll be like, I'm going to run away. So anyways, Pacha, we don't wear masks. Cuscos are people who are narrow consciousnesses, and they are Pinocchios on that island as well. Okay, so with the donkeys, we know how to play nice. That's not an in-depth relationship. On this lovely double 8, again, let me move us back to our lovely 5D collective. So we do care about our herd, but we don't actively get offended if somebody calls us a name. When I see my mystic friends who get upset because people don't believe in their mysticism, in their what they call gifts, and we will use different words. These are not gifts in the sense of us being special. We're all special because we all contribute in one way, shape, or form to our lovely earth. And we all actively, if you are a divine feminine, you know we're one big ball of energy manifesting itself. This is not a competition. So again, emotions are not something we need golden medals for. And that's number 1. You wield your potential because you wield your mind. And as we come together, self-worth and self-empowerment are those who know how to say, if I share my depths with you and you leave, I can be disappointed, I can be sad, I can be completely not devastated. Devastated is for people who, if they get a good therapist, they'll know why they were devastated. Okay, so there are those who are not devastated because one human being or 2 human beings or 3 human beings or 4 or 5 can keep going. When I got to move beyond the concept of loving one person, it was interesting to say the least. I knew as a divine feminine what was happening, and one of my friends, I knew that he was putting up with my phone calls as he shared with me this thing, and then other people too. And it always is something humorous when I hear feedback, because my ears are like, I didn't say any of what you're presenting to me. But that's when a Pach understands what it means when a person has not moved into a differentiated self. So what this means is they're not saying to themselves, I am not Maria. Maria is sharing. So they don't know how to do mindfulness, talking, or listening. Because if they did, then they would not apply their own interpretation of sadness, they would not provide to me their perspective on something that is mine. Now, what you will also understand if you're a person that is your own self, because I have understood this since I'm a differentiated 3-year-old my entire life, 44 years of age, so not that long, but I got lucky. As Daniel Siegel, Dr. Dan, told me, oh, look, you were already a differentiated self at the age of 3, because I shared with him a story. And it was when my mother wanted to spank me, and I told her she couldn't because it's my body. And she still spanked me. And I told him of how I went to make my suitcase to leave, and she didn't let me leave, I think, but I still went to make my suitcase because she disobeyed my command and did something that I told her she shouldn't do. And that's a differentiated self. When you look it up, it's a person who has their own sense of self, which is what you get to keep on owning when you come on over here. So when you are that, it's an Ariel with a tail who says, hey, Eric, I got a dad who's being a bit of an asshole right now. I got a tail, so it's going to make it a bit challenging for me to come up and go and out, but I don't want to do any torture chamber shit, by the way. And no, I'm not interested in any of what, you see of drama where we have to excruciatingly be in pain and silence. No, none of that. No. this is what we get. How are we going to work it out so that we can enjoy each other? Actually, I'm pretty sure that's going to be very straightforward if Eric enjoys me as much as I enjoy Eric. Anybody? Okay, so that's as easy as it gets. Doesn't get harder. So, with that being said, at IHP, that's what we are, men, women, and days who don't hide ourselves, because why would we? When I hear about couples going to therapy, they're couples. They're married. They're not even polyamory. So you'd think that they would try a little bit harder. I mean, just because polyamory, we have choices. You know what I mean? It's a consensual, non-monogamous. It's I want more people. I love more people. I'm not only yours and you're not only mine. And that doesn't mean anything about, oh my God, you're never going to come back. No, I'm going to trust that you are an emotionally, mentally, and physically mature, conscious lover. And this is the one thing that, again, those people who are not here, they're like, I forgave. I did this special thing called, they disrespected me. They won't ever find someone like me. Really? That's sad. You don't want them to be happy in life? Wow. You love them? Okay, so I know. Some people are like, no. Some people know how to be happy for people. And those are the people that like the IHP collective, because that's just sad to actually not want people to be happy. And it's sad that those people don't know how to process their own emotions and to notice that what you like and don't like isn't an irrefutable fact. And that you don't have to have a belief system, but really being upset at another human being for not liking you, I thought that people would be over that. I was 4 when I got explained it. I was a teen when I explained it to myself, and then I got older and it was very straightforward. So moving beyond the concept of the one, thank you to my lovely twin flames. It's not something that you're going to be like, yay, but then you are going to be like, yay, I know I'm going to smile about this. And in fact, that's exactly what happens, like with my teenage boyfriend. And so we'll end with this. There are those who I have met that are my age, and they look back and they say, I wish that I would have been able to have my first love and just to stay with them. I'd say I'm very much happy every single step of the way. Now, here, I want to say something though. Let me spell this one out before we go. So when I look to the past, I smile, and then I smile more, and then I smile more, and then I'm like, my gosh, if only I could explain, which I am, to my entire community, how amazing it is for Divine Feminine to actively always be aware of where we are at and where we are headed, and of knowing that no matter what I don't know about tomorrow, I know that it's going to be beautiful, and I know why. And then, though, let me spell this one out so that I can come back down to earth and share with you. The future of me is very simple. It is actively that which these lovely people who say they wish that they could have, even though I don't think it's going to be that straightforward. But my point is, it's a simple life. A simple life is what I already enjoy, which is my herd, my loved ones. That's it. I get to be healthy. I get to support however many people I can. And I get to be here, and thank you all for stopping by, for example. When you are on that path to enlightenment with bliss and delight, when you are choosing to move into the bliss and delight, you choose that. You consciously choose how to wake up and how to go to sleep. And that is your consistent choice. And people don't like to hear how simple this is, because those same people are the, I want jeepers on the back. So I know that when it comes to life for me, I feel very lucky already. And so my future is even more simple. But I know personally that every ascension energy has gotten more amazing. And when I hear of the 4D, I just didn't think they'd sit in that Elsa Journey stuff, but they, whatever. Meaning dramatic kings and queens and days, I just remind myself of my teenage friends as they continued to be mean to each other. And I just said, why are you doing this? You were with these people. How dare you talk about them like this? It's like you don't even remember loving them. What kind of love was it if you can actively wish upon someone that you loved ill? That's not love. If you ever love someone, you will not look to the past, and because they didn't do what you wanted them to do, you want them to suffer. In fact, when some people have said, for my different stories, things like, are you happy that they have things that are not going well, to put it nicely, I say, no, no. And I don't care if people believe me or not. I'm offended. No. I basically say, you obviously don't know me. If you're speaking any of that, anyone who knows me will know automatically that I would never in a million years wish upon any human being something like that. That's not nice. And that is what happens when you maintain a consistent capacity to know that we're all flawed and imperfect, and that you don't want any person to suffer, because you're grounded in reality and not some teenager storytelling, asshole-ish, whatever bullshit stories. This is where it comes down to a story in your head with your left mode when you're upset, and you're not saying to your right mode, hey, it's okay, let's go have fun with people who love us just the way we are. Some people, they don't have that until they go to therapy. Some of us don't need therapy. We actively know how to consciously say we want people to be happy, even if they quote unquote hurt me. You can't hurt a person. Sadness is about connection. And so it is only natural for your embodied brain as a mammal, you and I, to be sad when you and I have a splinter or a rupture, whether you're a friend, whether you're a lover, whether you're a parent, whatever you are. The minute that I'm being misunderstood as a 0-1-year-old attached panicky, as a 3-7 shame submissive, a freeze of all ages, flight 11, 12, and fight 14, 15, 16, I will be sad. That's why once you're grown up, you say, it's okay. We're good, ventral vagal state, come online. It's only sadness. We didn't get to connect exactly to the same level of depth that you wanted to. That's called differentiation. I'm Maria and they're another person. I don't need to be bummed out about it. That's what mindfulness and mindsight and mindset practices help you to get to. That's why people are like, I don't want to do it, Maria. I want life now. Well, life is now. So you either start moving or you're going to stay here. And here is basically where all these other Elsa Journey people are at, and da-da-da-da-da. So for actual depth of experience, you will have people who will grow with you at IHP for sure. And then others who choose to move into bliss and delight versus count the level of gold that they got in their chest. Yeah, so some people, they continue to do that. It's called the default mode network that actually only activates in hypervigilance. They do pseudo-liveness. That's why they're all over the place, the Elsa Journey. We'll be back with more. In the meantime, yeah, for this one, again, welcome 5D Collective. This 88 portal is really amazing, and I look forward to coming back with more. I'm still thinking about what we should talk about. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, let me know. Like, share, and subscribe. If you did enjoy, and if you know anybody who wants to do spiritual self-help with a 5D mystic, we will have some membership content available at some point. And in the meantime, if you're interested, you can inquire about one-to-one mentorship. And for the master class, you can start submitting requests if you want. There is going to be a limited amount of number. I haven't decided the number yet. It will be also based on our spiritual retreat, because that's something also that I'm planning. And I really just need to sit down, though, and think through, because the number is based on a couple of factors. Oh, and we do want to build a community. So I have Telegram for IHP, and we have WhatsApp. And so if you are curious to start joining, again, people who want to love and to know life is very straightforward. We have 24 hours. So, it's simple. And it's not hard. It's only hard for those who don't have a good therapist and don't want to go. The ones who did go, then they know they can become more loving if they want, or they have a Zen master who tells them all about the laundry that they have in their body. And I'm one human who's not a genius. I'm simply put a person who has the capacity to tell you that love is something you don't lose because somebody doesn't want you. You don't lose it. You grow more of it. And then you have more fun. And then you're in the 2024 and you know about all the secure attachment trauma therapists out there, and you're like, yay, everyone's going to have heaven in their body. No, not everyone. Some people, they choose to stay not securely attached because they say humans are fucked up. So I'm just going to stay this way because I don't want to do mindfulness and meditation and journaling, and I don't want to go to therapists because, they cost a lot of money. And I get it. The therapists, they do cost a lot of money, but the journaling and the mindfulness would help you to get out of that. And more than just that, but let's leave it alone. Okay, so again, thanks for stopping by. We'll be back with more. Have a good one.